Hello. It's difficult to believe, but the Festool Domino is 20 years old. Happy birthday, Festool Domino, and welcome to Workshop Essentials. This is my Festool Domino, and I've had this since they very first came out. In fact, this particular example is a pre-production model. It's got a handwritten serial number on it. At the time, I was quite a prolific journalist. I had a magazine article every single month. And when it was released, Festool did a pass around from one journalist to the next. And we all made reviews about it and said how good it was and all that kind of stuff. I was at the end of the queue, not for the first time in my life. And there was no one to pass it on to. So I said to my contact at Festool, why don't I just hang on to it for a bit and do real life projects with it rather than just a written review? And of course, he knew exactly what I was asking for. And he said, oh, go on then. So that's how I come to have a pre-production model. The fact that it's 20 years old means that some of the patents are coming to an end, which in turn means that other companies will be able to offer spare parts and accessories that they've hitherto been prevented from doing. So, and I've got a few third-party accessories here, which I find very useful. The first is this. It's a replacement depth stop. Now, the original depth stop is this one, and it's got various standard thicknesses on it. Preset, 16 millimeters, 20, 22, 25, 28, 36, and 40. And you will notice that there is one very important thickness that is not on the list, and that is 18 millimeters. 18 millimeters is a standard thickness for MDF and 19 for veneered MDF, which is a very common material to be used. This replacement has got 18 and 19 on it. It's got 12 as well. Two of them are duplicated, the 22 and the 25, but this means that I can use this with MDF and the slot will be right in the middle. I don't have to mess around with extra spacers to get the right thickness. To swap between the two, it's just a matter of undoing that screw. Not at all expensive. Several people producing these on eBay. They're just 3D printed and it's excellent. I love it. And from the same company, I bought a set of these. These are cable clips. I don't know about you, but you pick up the hose and then you're scrabbling around for the cable, or the other way around. And these are great. They again, they're 3D printed, and the cable goes into the bottom like that. Just it clicks into place, and then the hose goes into the main part there. And it means when I pick up one, I pick up them both, and they stay together. And when I'm working and I've got to get the hose out of the way, they both get put out of the way at the same time. Again, inexpensive, several people producing them, very, very good. I like. I don't get offered freebies very often. Well, I get offered, but usually I turn around and say no, because there's a catch. We'll give you a free thing, can you make a film for us? And I point out that it takes 2 days to make a film, and it's worth more than the cost of a $9.99 tool that's not very good in the first place. So I don't accept many free gifts, but these two have been free, and they're worth a lot more than $9.99. This is a set of cutters for the Festool Domino. They come in a nice little case, and there are 5 in the set, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 millimeters. And they are not made by Festool, they're made by Find Buy Tool, but they're direct replacements, and of course they're not as expensive. As far as I can tell, they're identical. The bigger ones for the DF700 come in individual cases. Again, a very nice case, hard, with a nice screw top and a pad so that the tip doesn't get damaged. And these are almost identical. I say almost because when you look at them, the helixes are not the same. This is a tighter helix, more like a conventional drill. This is a much slower helix. I don't know if that makes a difference. As far as I can see, they cut exactly the same. So, but as I say, I've been given these, so you may want to take that into account when you decide whether or not I'm giving you an honest opinion or not. I am, but you know, I have to declare these things. From the same company, these router cutters. Now, these are for making your own dominoes. When you get a domino, then the edges will be smooth. And if it's a size for the slot, then it's difficult for the air to get out when you put them two together, which is why the edges of sort of the proper dominoes have got that ridges. It allows air and glue to come out as you put the tenon in. And these are serrated, so these will give me those nice ribbed edges. The work on the router table.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Do a superb job. Are they essential for making your own dominoes? No, of course not. You can use an ordinary round over, or sometimes I just chamfer the edges. So there's plenty of space for air and glue to come out. But as a luxury, very nice indeed. Give a very professional result. If you do decide to buy, there's a promo code down below. It's not an affiliate link. I don't get anything from it. It's just a straightforward 5% off. I could get a commission, but I don't want to get involved in affiliate marketing. Thank you. I'd rather preserve my independence. Right, so those are some that you buy, some that I've got for free, and here's something that you can make for free. Here is an accessory that you can make for free. You just need a little bit of perspex. This is about 8 inches long and inch and 3/4 wide, 200 by 40 millimeters, something like that. And it's useful when I want to create a slot that is further away from the edge than my fence will allow. So that's about 30 millimeters or so, 32 millimeters I think it is. But if I want to put a slot in the middle of something which is wider than that, further away, say 100 millimeters from the edge, I can't use this as my reference. In that case, I have to do it like that and get it exactly on the line. Exactly on the line. And this little gadget helps me to do this. So I have scribed down this edge a line, a very fine line. I've darkened it with a Sharpie and then polished it off. So I've got a very fine black line 10 millimeters away from this edge, which is the distance from the base of my domino machine to the center of the cutter. Right, let's suppose that I want to cut a slot in the middle of this board. I can't reference off the edge, it's much too big a distance. So I use my little setting gauge, and the scribed line goes exactly on my layout line. Now, I've only got one contact lens in today because I've got an eye problem. So I need to get quite close to be able to see what I'm doing. There we go. Then I've got a fence with a layout line on as well, and that goes up to it and in line with the other layout line. There we go. And then that gets clamped down. So now, when I make the cut, like this, let me set the depth. I don't want to go into my bench, do I? Let's have that on, let's go 12 millimeters. That'll do nicely, I think. And now when that goes, I can use my layout line on the center line in my machine, which is there. And when I make that plunge cut, it'll be exactly in the middle of my board.
And look at that, absolutely blooming perfect.
So there you are, some cheap stuff, some cheaper than it would otherwise be stuff, and some absolutely free stuff. What's not to like? Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, enjoy your Festools. Cheerio.